So let's begin. Today we will learn how to apply for spouse visa. You must apply online from outside the UK, or you must apply online in the UK. So if you're applying for the first time, you will click this. This is the video about applying from outside the UK. So click on Appendix FM partner, select the country. So I'm assuming you are based in India for the sake of example, and you've identified your biometric location where you will give your photograph and fingerprints. And to apply, your partner must be a British citizen or somebody who holds ILR or have a pre-settled status. So I'm not going to go into the detail. So this visa is issued for 2 years and 9 months. So we click apply. I'm going to enter my details. And is this your email? Say yes. Click save and continue. Do you have another email? Say no. Write your mobile number. So I'm going to assume, say, this is the number. Please make sure you don't leave any gap whilst you are outside the UK. This is your mobile number. Click save and continue. Do you have any other telephone number? So in this case, you can give the telephone number of your husband, but in this case, I'm just saying no. I can be contacted by telephone call and text message. And now here you have to give your name, Tanya, and say Oberoi, and click save now. Now this is really important. So many people in Asian cultures, they actually change their surname once they get married. So I'm going to take an example where you have actually changed your name after the marriage. So I'm going to say yes. If you have not changed your surname and it is right exactly like on the official document like passport, then select no. But I'm going to say yes, that somebody's changed the name. And Tanya used to be known as Tanya Sharma, not as Tanya Oberoi before the marriage. Click save and continue. In addition to the names already provided, are you now or have you been known by the name? Answer is no. You say female, relationship married. So if you're unmarried, you can still apply, but you need to prove that you've been living with the person for at least 2 years. But I'm assuming that you're a civil partner or you're married. So I'm going to write the address where you're located. For example, 120 Reliance Towers, uh, flat 3. It's in Mumbai, and postal code. And I'm going to write India. Then we may use this as a correspondence address. Save and continue. So if you've been living at this address, so again, this is really important. So once you got married, say it's been just 6 months and you've moved into your husband's parental home, so here you need to be really careful. So if you've just lived less than 2 years, you mention that. So I this Tanya has lived only for 6 months, and here I select I live at my husband's parental home since our wedding in India as of say 1st January 2026. Now it's going to ask you where were we living before. So you must provide addresses that you lived at in the past 2 years. You'll be able to add the details. So is this a UK address? The answer is no. So now you write your address where you used to live. So imagine you used to live in say New Delhi, 135 sector 29. And when did you start living? So imagine you were born in year 2000 and you lived, sorry, and you lived till the wedding. So you lived till 2025 because from 1st of January you started living at the husband's parental home. So any other addresses in the past 2 years? If the answer is yes, please fill up the address. If the answer is no, click no. Do you have a valid national identity card? Here you can put your Aadhaar card or any other card that actually belongs to you in your country. Or I'm going to give the number and I say Republic of India or Government of India. And now you need to mention your nationality, country of birth, say for example India, place of birth say Mumbai, date of birth 1st of January 2000, you were born. Can you provide a valid passport? The answer is yes. So write the passport number. This was issued by Republic of India. When was it issued? Say for example it was issued on 2020. It's valid till 2030. Sorry. Do you currently have ever held any other nationalities? If you have, say yes, but normally the answer is no. I'm going to say I want to arrive on 1st of September 2026. Languages do you speak? Add another language if you speak Marathi. We may need to talk to you about your application. Which language would you prefer? Try to stick to English because that is expected of you. And are you exempt from English language requirements? So this is for people who have disability, but normally the answer would be no. Then they say, do you have a degree that was taught in English? So there are various ways to qualify for English language. So there is a requirement, knowledge of English language, which you can prove up to A1 level. So what you need to do is, if you got a degree that was taught in English, then you can get it verified by an organization called ECCTIS. It's a UK-based organization. They're going to take your degree certificate transcripts, and they will see whether you meet the UK equivalent or not. This costs roughly about £252, but usually people go for standardized testing. So I'm going to say, just say, I'm going to just say yes. Say, for example, India. Does your degree meet the English language requirements for this visa? Imagine it doesn't, right? So just say no. And have you passed an approved language test? This is what mainly people give. So IELTS is very common. It's approved. You can click here to find out which testing centers, and you must give your test in the authorized testing centers only that is listed on the gov.uk website. If you do that, if you do not go through authorized training center, your visa may be refused. So please make sure you do that. Then enter the reference number. It will be given to you. So basically, you need to meet level A1. You can even pass to B1 or B2, which you can use in the later when you want to extend the visa or when you apply for indefinite leave to remain. Do you have any children? So I'm assuming that you just got married, so you don't have any children. If you have got children, please mention them here and enter the details. So now you need to enter your mother's details, Nita Sharma. So it's pretty simple. Now it's the father's turn, so we write father's. Father's name is Rohit Sharma. He was born on 10th of January 1955. Now, are you planning to live in Jersey, Guernsey, and Isle of Man? Say no. If you are, say yes. But usually the answer is no. Do you know where you will be staying in the UK? So this is usually the address. So always write the postcode, ask your husband or your wife. So I put this postcode, click here, and you will have a drop-down menu of the address. I'm going to say the person is living in 27 Shaftesbury Road. Click save and continue. Is this a home of a family member? Usually your spouses. So the answer is yes. You need to give the name. So Amit Oberoi is the husband's name. Relationship is my husband. Are other places that you'll be staying? The answer is no, because you'll be staying with your husband. Have you been to the UK in the past 10 years? If you have, yes, click yes and provide the details. Usually the answer is first time no, if you're not going there. Have you been issued the visa in the past 10 years? Select the one that is more relevant to you. Now, besides the UK, have you been to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Switzerland? If you have, say yes. If the answer is no, click no. Now, have you ever been refused a visa? Extremely important. You must be accurate. So if you were refused a visa, if you were deported or denied entry, you need to answer yes and provide the circumstances. For example, sometimes you lost a flight or there were some circumstances. Do not lie here. Be as accurate as possible because they will find out. So the answer is no. Have you breached any UK immigration law because you're applying for the first time? The answer is no. Convictions? Well, the answer is no. War crimes? The answer is no. Terrorist activities? The answer is no. Extremist views? The answer is no. The answer is no. Have you ever engaged in activities which might indicate you may not be a person of good character? So, example, you were arrested or you've done something, which may be. So, there is a clear guidance of good character. Is there any other information that you want us to be aware of? The answer is no. Now, employment history, if you work for media, armed forces, intelligence, you need to declare, the answer is no. So, imagine if you work for media, you need to write there, okay? Now, your partner, so the partner's name is Amit Oberoi. We have to write his date of birth, 1st, 10th. He was born in 1998. He is now British. That's why we are. So if he's Indian and he's got indefinite leave to remain, then the nationality would be Indian. Okay, does he currently live with you? The answer is no. Where are they living? 27 Shaftesbury Road, London. We write E78PF. He's living in United Kingdom. Will they be traveling with you? If they're traveling with you, then say yes. If the answer is no, click no. Why don't you live? So you write as per Indian tradition. Our wedding was an arranged marriage, and we are not allowed to live together before marriage. I started, okay, and then you say, my husband came on annual leave for his wedding in India in December 2025, and he left for work after that. That is why I'm not living with him, but now I am applying to live with him. in the UK. This is a simple explanation. Have you ever lived with your partner within or outside the UK? So this is really important. Imagine you got married in December 2025. You lived together at your Indian parental home, for example, for 25 days or 30 days. You must mention that. So I'm going to just say yes. I got married. So I was got married on say 1st December 2025, for example. I stayed with my husband at his parental home from 2nd 12 2025 until he returned. For example, my husband was with me till 31st of December 2025 prior to leaving for the UK to rejoin his employer in London. Something like that. It's concise, it's clearly, because what they don't want to do is if they find that you live for 20 days or 25 days, whatever it is, and you did not mention, it could be deemed as a false statement. Okay. Now, are you currently married or in a civil relationship with another person? The answer is no. If you are not previously married, the answer is no. Is Amit Oberoi the sponsor of application? The answer is yes. Do they have British citizenship? So here are the criteria. So sponsor must be either British citizen, they're settled, they have indefinite leave to remain or enter. They have, these are the conditions. I'm going to select British citizenship. What is your current relationship to Amit Oberoi? You are the wife. And does Amit Oberoi have any home office reference numbers? So, for example, if your Amit became a British citizen, say 2 years back, and he was on indefinite leave to remain in the UK, the answer should be yes. You would answer yes, and then you would give the reference number. If he was born in the UK and he was British since the very beginning, the answer is no. If you do not know, do you know the national insurance number? So this is the number that you need to mention. This is written on the payslip. Do not write Amit does not have a national insurance number because if he's working in the UK, he would have that. So please make sure you get the alphanumeric number from your husband before you apply. Now Amit's email address. So I'm going to just say amit.oberoi@icloud.com. I will enter his number. Does Amit have a valid passport? So you have to enter the British passport number. So example, passport number is this. It was issued by HSMP. This is the UK's authority that issues the passport. So it was issued on 1st of 2020. It is expiring on 1st of January 2030. Please make sure you have the passport copy and I can provide the passport copy. Have you met Amit Oberoi? Your relationship? The answer is yes. When did you first meet Amit? So even if you had arranged marriage, for example, or if you were in a relationship, you need to give details about the relationship because usually they expect that you've been in relationship for at least 2 years. So you can say if it was a arranged marriage, you met him in September 2025, and you can say you finalized the engagement in the month of October. You can write like this. That's when your relationship began. How often do you usually see? So you can just write for now, since January 2026, I have not seen Amit as he is in the UK. But when we met in September 2025, um, after engagement, we met several times in October to December 2025. As simple as that, because you'll be expected to provide the proof. When did you last see? So, say you saw Amit on the last date before he boarded the flight. This is the day he boarded the flight. What languages Amit speaks? So, English. And what languages do you and Amit usually? So, if you communicate in Hindi or English, whatever it is, you can write that. Okay, when did you enter or when did you marry or enter a civil partnership? So this is the date of the wedding when you took the vows and you took the wedding. So imagine your wedding was on 1st of December 2025. Both of you, Amit, attend the wedding in person. The answer is yes. Is this was an arranged marriage? This is extremely important. Answer is yes. Were you related to Amit Oberoi before you became partners? The answer is no. Has Amit been previously married? If he was married, the answer would be yes. If he's no, the answer is no. Does Amit have any other children? The answer is no. Do you and Amit have shared financial responsibilities? So imagine you're living in India, he's living in London, but he still pays for some of the bills in India. Imagine you have he pays you money every month so that you can go and do some shopping because that will become an evidence. For example, utility bills, mortgage, or rent. If the answer is yes, say we both bought a flat in, for example, in Pune, for which we took a joint home loan. Evidence of that home loan and monthly payments are provided, because this also provides a genuine ongoing relationship that you are, otherwise why would two people come into relationship and start paying a loan? Besides, you can say Amit also pays me each month money for my allowances and some shopping. I am providing my personal bank statement for last 6 months. That's it, and you can provide the bank statement. Where do you and Amit intend to live? So if this is where you intend to live, say yes, previous address. Does Amit own the property? The answer is no. They're rented privately. How many bedrooms? So here you need to write how many bedrooms are there. So imagine there's a two-bedroom. How many other rooms like kitchen, bathroom? So there is one kitchen, one bathroom, and say it has two rooms. So does anyone else other than Amit O'Brien and other dependents are living at this property? Extremely important. So please check with your husband. The answer should be no. If it is, there is nobody living. If Amit has privately rented the property to somebody else, then you have to include the details of that person. Have you applied for fee waiver for this application? So in certain countries, so many people they don't know is for the spouse visa also, if you are in really really dire financial circumstances and you cannot afford the visa application fees and you're outside the UK, you can apply for the fee waivers, but there is a separate evidence required of your circumstances. But in this case, the answer is no. So now you check the details as to what you've filled in. If all the details are correct, you go through, and if you wanted to change anything, you can just click on change and go back, and you come to the bottom, and if you're satisfied that everything is correct, click continue. Now you have to give the details of if Amit is on any benefits, because under the spouse visa, the financial requirement is that you and your partner must be making a total at least 29,000 pounds per year annually, because that proof would be required. Now that burden does not need to be met if Amit, the husband or the wife who settled in the UK, is on any one of these benefits. If he's on any one of the benefits, then that minimum income threshold does not need to be met. So but I would say he's not on any no partner does not receive any benefits. You select this one, click save and continue. Is Amit currently sponsoring any additional children? The answer is no. As a part of your application, you must show that you can meet the financial requirement. You should read the financial requirement guidance. As I told you, it's 29,000 pounds. The answer is yes. And select the income types. Which type of income will you rely on to meet the financial requirement? So Amit's employment, because if he's employed for someone else. If you have cash savings also, but if Amit is earning say 31,000 pounds, the requirement is 29,000 pounds, then you should just select Amit's employment. But you can also show your savings also if you wanted to, right? Current title of Amit, so he's a chartered accountant, chartered, and his job is permanent. When did his current employment? So imagine he started working on 1st of October 2024. Because if the employment has changed in the last 6 months, then you will need to show your previous employer earnings also. Have they been employed by the same employer for the last 6 months? The answer is yes. What do they earn? The same amount continuously above the financial requirement, the same amount continuously below the financial requirement. So I will select the first option. So I say his salary is say 65,000 pounds per year, for example. Employer, so I will say Deloitte LB, 1 Canada Square, and I write Canary Wharf, London. You write the postcode. So it's better to check the employment contract and the details, and you select the details. So you say this one, find the number, say 207. And okay, do you additional employment income? Do you want to add any other employment income? For example, he's doing two jobs instead of one. Then you will select yes. Normally people select no. Add a previous job for, I mean, do you want to add a previous job from within last 12 months? So this is relevant if your husband has had the permanent job for the last 6 months only, and he had a previous employer in those last 12 months. So in that case you will select yes, otherwise my answer is no. Now add any cash savings solely in the name and control of Tanya Oberoi or Amit Oberoi. So if you opened a joint account and you both have access to at least 6 months to these savings, then you should mention that. So for example, add cash savings. So Amit has a cash savings. What is the source of cash savings? So source of savings is money remitted, sorry, money saved in the HSBC after from his employment, and then you write employment after paying all expenses. That's it. Right? When was the account opened? So you need to ask Amit. So amount, for example, the account was opened in 2015. What is the amount of savings held in this account? Say so. As you say, only include the funds that have been in your account for last 6 months, where you have liquidated or transferred eligible funds that you've owned and controlled for 6 months. So whatever the total amount is, say he has 32,000 pounds, 32,000. Name of account holder Amit Oberoi, and now you have to enter the account detail. So you have to provide the 6 months bank statements, declaration of source by the account holder. Do you want to add any cash, additional cash savings? So if imagine Tanya, the housewife, is in India and she has her own savings, you can also include that. But in this case, I'm going to just say no. Additional information. Say, for example, there was some information that was important for you to give, but you don't have an opportunity either in yes or no to clearly answer that. My normal recommendation is always present a cover letter with the application, because this is only for 1,000 characters. But I can write like, I wish to add additional information about my own employment in India, but did not get an opportunity to provide that. Theref- Therefore, I am providing details of the employment in a cover letter with my employment contract and payslips as evidence. Now, this is one kind of detail that you mentioned. Imagine you have certain circumstances where you have not shared any bills or whatever it is, or you are not allowed to live together until you formally get married. So you can provide some cultural details. So you can also write, I am also providing WhatsApp, email, and video call communication between me and Amit. That so sorry, me and Amit from September 2025 to December 2000, say January 2000, or till here, right? So, for example, May 2026. Like, this is to confirm that we are in an on there's a genuine ongoing relationship, and we have every intention to stay together in the UK. Something like this, because what you're trying to tell them is that you are in a genuine ongoing relationship. Now, the mandatory document, there is a checklist that you have to provide colored copies of the passport. Now, the laws have changed and the requirements have changed. Now, what they expect you is, if you're the applicant, say you're the wife, you need to provide your passport copy in a chronological order, even the blank pages. So, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, if you got a current passport, make sure you have a colored version of each and every page clearly, and the page number of the passport should be visible, and have medium compression and save it as a PDF file. If you had an old passport also, you need to make the copy of that, because they will go through each and every stamp. Because there was a question, have you traveled to any other country, right? Have you traveled to the UK or the US or any other country? They will go through physically each and every stamp. They will check your passport number to make sure that you have not lied. That is why they're asking for each and every page. Now, copy of the biodata page of the passport of Amit for British citizen. So, for example, you need the British passport copy of Amit, your partner, where it clearly shows his photograph, that proof of British citizenship, the number that is required. Personal bank statements of Amit, which you're relying on because he's earning in excess of 29,000 pounds. Shared responsibility, a declaration by Amit that the savings that he has got, that it is from the valid source, he's got the money from that source only. Proof of relationship, like marriage certificate or civil partnership certificate. And I think you can also add photographs also. One proof of British citizenship for Amit, such as passport copy, I think it's already here. Copy of the biodata page of the passport, is almost the same. It shows date of birth, place of birth, and all of that. It's really important. If Amit became For example, a British citizen before he was after holding a ILR and he was an Indian national, please make sure you provide his old passport copies also with the home office reference numbers. For example, when did he got his ILR, when did he got his naturalization approved, because this will become the supporting documentation. And you will need to go through a tuberculosis test, extremely important, because you're coming from a country where tuberculosis exists. There is a list of the countries, and you're going to be staying in the UK for more than 6 months, which is because this is a visa for 2 years and 9 months. You must get your self-tested for tuberculosis from authorized center. There is a clear authorized test centers provided on gov.uk. You must go there. It's pretty easy. The test gets done in 10 to 15 minutes. You get a certificate copy. It is valid for 6 months. Okay. Now the conditions, if the application is successful, there'll be conditions on your visa. So for example, this visa is going to be for 33 months. So if you for example, you'll be able to work, you'll be able to do everything, but you have to make sure that you will not stay in the UK without permission. So these are the criteria. You consider that, yes, you understand these. You give a declaration that I'm above the age of 18. If your husband is submitting on your behalf, then he will be selecting this. And now immigration health surcharge payment. So this is what you have to pay. This is £3,105. Let me explain you. This is not actually the visa fees. This is actually your fees. So when you move to the UK, NHS National Health Services is going to provide care for you. For example, if you become pregnant, if you're sick, if you have to attend a hospital, this is the fees which is normally for per year, but this is for the entire length of your 2 years and 9 months. This has to be provided, this has to be paid, and then you will click pay, and then you'll be asked to pay for the spouse visa fees application also. You'll also get a unique reference number, and then you'll be asked to book your biometrics appointment. But please make sure that before you book your biometrics appointment, you get your tuberculosis certificate in hand. You also get your English language test already ready, and you have all the documentary evidence of your husband and yourself. Okay, I hope you like the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you believe that this video has assisted you. And if you've got any questions regarding certain confusion which you don't understand, drop me a comment down below and I will answer that. But also understand that I cannot give you any advice on through the YouTube. So if you require a specific consultation regarding your documentation, you can always book an appointment. Till next time, take care.